Hey everybody, welcome to Yalapa, where today the only things we were able to gather were some beautiful jumbo shrimp from a guy selling them out of a cooler on the corner and a nice locally raised chicken. So I decided we're going to put together a nice Mexican style jambalaya that's full of flavor and everyone's going to love. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is debone this little local chicken that we got and throw the bones in about 4 cups of salted water to make a nice broth for the base of our jambalaya. I'm just going to break it down and then bust up the bones a little and let that simmer for at least an hour. Oh, that's a beauty. That's some flavor right there. Alright, while that broth's cooking, I'm going to get the seasoning started. You've seen me do this before. I'm just going to take these guajillo chilies, take out all the seeds and the stem, and then I'm going to boil these for 15 or 20 minutes to get them rehydrated. And I'll also add 4 tomatoes and a half an onion. Now my tomatoes and the chilies and onions have been boiling for 15 minutes. I let them cool a little bit. That's going to go right into the blender. It's still real hot, so be careful. I'll pull the skins off the tomatoes. It'll come off real easy now. I'll just get most of that taken off before I go into the blender. Still real hot. Well, looks like we got everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 2 or 3 cloves of peeled garlic. Now this time I'm going to use some of the cooking liquid and add it back to blend this down. So now I'm just going to blend this down and strain it out and get a nice smooth chili paste. Now I've pulled the chicken carcass out of the stock, but I'm going to add all the shrimp shells from the shrimp I just cleaned into here. And I'm only going to let these come up to a boil and simmer for a minute or 2, and that should be plenty of shrimp flavor in this stock. Alright, shrimp shells have been cooking away for a few minutes, and I'm going to go and strain it right into that same strainer and collect that nice chili essence and everything that's in there too. It won't hurt a thing. In fact, it'll be even better. Now I'll give that a taste and check it for seasoning. I got a feeling it's going to be real strong. Oh wow. That is a good one right there. It's just right, 50-50 shrimp and chicken. So let's set this aside while I do all the prep for the final dish, and then we'll start putting this all together. I'm going to be using poblano peppers for this one. Normally in a jambalaya it's bell pepper, but this is what they have here, and it's going to be really good. So they're pretty easy to clean. You just cut the top, pop out the seeds, and you come in here and just slice that bacon right out. No problem at all. So to start the dish, I'm going to take these chorizos that I got here. They're made locally. Take the skins off and start to fry these up. I'm using a little butter in here actually because the chorizo we get here is not real oily like the other stuff that we usually see in the States. It actually needs a little bit of oil to get it started. Just cook that on medium heat. It'll start to break down. And honestly, use whatever sausage you like here. This is what's available to us here, and luckily it's really great. While my chorizo is breaking down and cooking over here, I'm going to go ahead and take that chicken and cut it into some sort of largish chunks. I'm going to leave the skin on there, I like that. These are going to be bigger than bite size, kind of a 2-inch size chunk maybe. Now I'm going to hit that chicken with just a sprinkling of salt. Very nice. Oh, my chorizo is broken down and starting to get some little crispy bits in there, so now it's time to put in my improvised trinity. Normally we'd have the onions and the celery and green bell peppers, but I've got the onions and the celery and the poblanos, and I went a little heavy on the poblanos because I really like that flavor, but I'm using about a cup each of the others. We'll just toss that in with our chorizo. Of course, hit it with a little bit of salt and just cook that down a little bit. I'm going to throw in a couple of teaspoons of ground cumin and a couple of cloves of chopped up garlic, and a teaspoon of dried oregano. Stir that around. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw in the chicken chunks. Get those guys down in there to get them started heating up. Now I'm going to come in with my broth and that nice tomato and chili paste over here. I'll bring the broth up. Just to about the level of everything. Then I'm going to go ahead and add all that tomato and chili goodness. Now I will bring this up to a boil and let this simmer for 30 minutes. So this has been simmering for 30 minutes with the cover on, and now I'm going to come in with some of the hot sauce that they use all over this town. It's not very hot, but it's got real nice flavor. It's going to go well in here. I'm also going to add in 2 cups of long grain rice, and remember I'm using about 4 cups of stock plus a couple of cups of that tomato and chili paste, so around 6 cups of liquid total. Now I'm going to bring this back up to a boil, put the lid on, and let it simmer for another 20 minutes. So we've been steaming that rice up for about 20 minutes now. And I want to get in there and test it. The rice should be just about cooked through, but not completely, because we're going to cook this for a little while longer after we add in the shrimp. Now I'm going to come in with all those shrimp that we picked up from the guy on the corner, and they are dead fresh, and there's some real beauties in here. Just gonna get all those shrimp in there. I'm gonna stir them down into that hot liquid, bring it back up to a boil and cover it, and let them cook for just about 5 minutes. I hope you try this, and I hope you love it. And if you do, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.